was there. I think his words were a defining moment for me to think I can't keep helping him stay in addiction.
But you don't have to be overly specific, but what do you think? What are two or three things before she starts too, I want to say I'll never forget because she has faded heat from other family members for maybe how she might have handled the Brad deal. She said it two or three times, and it made me think about it. She goes, look, until you're in that situation, don't judge how I'm doing this deal. When you have to make a decision, what you're going to do to your son, if he's going to be, in a homeless shelter, or you're going to be whatever, or you decide to bring him out, until you're in that situation and you have to kick your kid out or turn your back on your child, don't tell me you could do it. And I don't know that I could. But anyway, just a couple of things, just so those people understand, what were a couple of things you've been able that you probably wished you had done?
Well, I'll start out, in the beginning of his addiction, even before his accident, I actually tried tough love. I sold his vehicle when he wasn't driving it to the right places. For about a year, he dropped out of school. He ended up going to Colorado. For a year, I didn't know really where my son was. He was on the streets in Denver. And I was just, constantly worried and that kind of thing. So I did the tough love in the beginning, but it seemed like as time went on, I became an enabler. And I would say how I did that was constantly just being at his beck and call. Like, if he called me and said, I tried to only buy groceries,
Right.
Instead of sending money. Thank goodness we didn't have Cash App and all that stuff we have today, right? Because I would be, I'm just sending more money, But I tell even ladies that I talk to about, even if they're in prison, if you're putting too much money on their commissary, there are, drugs in prison.
Yeah.
I go into the prisons now with Dad Behind Bars and different organizations. And many times I see people high on drugs, and it's really sad because you're thinking if they're in there, they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
But so you can enable in all ways, but it was really hard for me to not be an enabler once children were involved, because then you're thinking, am I depriving the children? I'm
And she's
talking
talking
his
grandchildren.
grandchildren. Yeah, his children. So that was really hard for me because I'm like, oh, they need food, they need diapers, and all of those things. So yeah, that was it, really.
And in no way am I judging, because I've been in that spot, and I'm just saying from the other side that when you do those things, I'm no way judging. But there's a deal about knowing that if you're in a situation and there's absolutely no safety net, and if something happens to you again, or you do something again, you're going to be in deep peril, and probably for Brad, he probably thought, well, she's going to be there. She's
going to bail me out. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I completely see that. And I also feel like
what toll, or what do you feel like has been due to all of this, so other people can hear this? What toll has this taken on you?
Well, I think it's made me a better person.
I was going to ask, that's my next question, Loretta, was what fruit comes from it?
I'm sorry.
She's looking at my paper. No, I'm just kidding. Go for that. Go. I'm messing with you. But it has made you tougher.
It's made me tougher, but also it's helped me to understand other people and have a heart for other people. Because at one time I was pretty judgmental on the fact that if I saw a young person doing something wrong, I'd say, well, if I was that parent,
Oh, yeah,
I put the hammer down, and I did. And so when you're going through it, it's a different thing altogether. Like I said, like you said earlier,